A young Nigerian woman sits alone in a softly lit room. Makeup slightly smudged. Eyes swollen from crying. Expensive gifts scattered around her bed, designer bags, shoes, jewelry. Yet she looks miserable. You know what the funny thing about shame is? It doesn't arrive immediately. At first, it feels like enjoyment. Soft life. Good life. The kind of life social media tells girls to pray for. Then one day, shame enters quietly. Sits beside you. And suddenly every expensive thing around you starts looking dirty. If somebody had told me 1 year ago that I would accidentally date my future husband's father, I would have laughed until my ribs hurt. But life is wickedly creative. It started after NYSC. No job. No connection. No rich parents. Just me, Lagos, and bills that multiplied faster than mosquitoes during rainy season. I was squatting with my friend Anita in Lekki then. Tiny apartment. Hot room. 2 girls. 1 standing fan. Constant blackout. Sometimes we ate once a day and called it intermittent fasting to feel better about suffering. That was when Anita introduced me to the lifestyle. Not prostitution. That's what we told ourselves. Just arrangements. Older men. Lonely men. Rich men. Men who wanted company. Men who wanted pretty girls beside them during business dinners so they could feel young again. And in return, rent paid. Hair done. New iPhone. Vacation money. Easy life. At least that's how it begins. The first time I met Chief Baligan, I was terrified. He was old enough to be my father. Maybe even older. But he didn't behave like the other men. That was the dangerous part. He was gentle. Soft-spoken. Patient. The kind of man who opens car doors for you. The kind who remembers tiny details. My favorite perfume. My birthday. The fact that I hated tomatoes. And God. The money. The first day he gave me 500,000 naira just because I casually mentioned my laptop was bad. 500,000. Just like that. No shouting. No pressure. No begging. I remember staring at the alert for almost 1 hour. Because suffering changes your brain. Once money enters the picture, morality starts negotiating. Soon I moved into my own apartment. Beautiful place in Ikoyi. Everything funded by him. The rent. The furniture. Even the giant mirror in my bedroom. He said seeing me happy made him feel alive again. I should have known then. Men don't spend millions on you because they are kind. There's always a price. Always. At first, I convinced myself I was in control. I told myself, it's temporary. I'm just surviving. I'll stop once I stabilize. But enjoyment is addictive. Soon I stopped applying for jobs completely. Why would I stress? Chief had everything covered. Every weekend. Spa dates. Luxury restaurants. Private resorts. Sometimes he'd just randomly send. Check your account. And boom. 2 million. 3 million. Once he bought me a car because I complained Uber drivers annoyed me. A whole car. I cried that day. Not because I loved him. But because nobody had ever made life that easy for me before. Then I met Toby. And that's where God decided to humble me publicly. Toby was different from every man I had met. Young. Hardworking. Funny. The type that still believed in real love. He wasn't extremely rich, but he had ambition. Peace. Kindness. He made me laugh without spending money. And somehow, that felt more dangerous than Chief's billions. For the first time in a long while. I felt guilty. Because Toby genuinely loved me. Meanwhile, I was secretly living another life entirely. I should have ended things with Chief immediately. But greed is never satisfied. I kept both lives. Chief funded my lifestyle. Toby funded my emotions. And somehow I believed I was smart enough to balance both. Until engagement entered the picture. The night Toby proposed, I almost confessed everything. The ring was beautiful. Simple but sincere. My chest hurt from guilt. But fear won. Fear always wins when truth is expensive. So I said yes. And that was the beginning of my destruction. 3 months later, Toby told me it was time to meet his parents. I was nervous but excited. I spent hours choosing clothes. I wanted them to love me. Especially his father. Because Toby worshipped that man. Dad is my role model, he always said. He built everything from nothing. I remember smiling nervously in the car while imagining some strict elderly Yoruba man asking me cooking questions. I was not prepared for reality. Not even close. The moment we entered that mansion, my soul left my body. Because sitting in the living room, drinking wine peacefully, was Chief Balogun. My Chief Balogun. My sugar daddy. My sponsor. My secret. My future father-in-law. I can still remember the exact moment our eyes met. That moment changed my life forever. The wine glass froze halfway to his lips. His face lost color instantly. And me. I nearly fainted. But Toby noticed nothing. He was smiling proudly. Dad, meet Ada, the woman I want to marry. I thought the earth would open. I prayed for armed robbers. Earthquake. Rapture. Anything. Anything except that moment. Then Chief stood up slowly. And smiled. Not romantically. Not warmly. A dangerous smile. The kind men wear when they realize they suddenly own your destiny. He stretched out his hand and said, Nice to finally meet you properly. Properly. That word nearly killed me. Dinner was torture. Every conversation felt like hidden bullets. Toby kept talking excitedly while his father and I exchanged silent panic across the table. At one point Chief asked me, So Ada, what exactly do you do? I almost choked on water. Because technically, his money was my full-time job. That night after dinner, he called me privately. I already knew. My legs were shaking as I entered his study. The moment the door closed, his entire expression changed. Cold. Sharp. Dangerous. He walked closer slowly and whispered, How long were you planning to keep this secret? I started crying immediately. Begging. Apologizing. Explaining. But he looked even more angry than I expected. Not because I deceived Toby. No. Because somehow, he looked hurt. Like betrayal wounded his ego. Then he said something I will never forget. You made me fall in love with you, while sleeping beside my son. I felt sick instantly. Because for the first time, I realized Chief's feelings had become real. And real emotions make powerful men dangerous. After that day everything became manipulation. Chief wanted me to leave Toby quietly. Toby wanted wedding plans immediately. And me. I was trapped between a father and son who had no idea they were destroying each other because of the same woman. Every family gathering became hell. I couldn't breathe properly around them. Sometimes I'd catch Chief staring at me while Toby held my hand. Sometimes Chief intentionally mentioned places we visited together just to watch me panic. I started losing weight. I stopped sleeping. I became paranoid. Because secrets rot you from inside. Then came the final disaster. The wedding introduction. Both families gathered. Everybody happy. Food everywhere. Music. Laughter. And then, Chief got drunk. Very drunk. I noticed immediately. The way he kept staring at me. I knew something terrible was coming. But I prayed silently for him to control himself. Then suddenly, he stood up, held his glass high, and said, "To my son, congratulations." Everybody clapped. Then he looked directly at me, smiled slowly, and added, "You chose the exact same woman your father loves." The room died instantly. No movement. No breathing. Nothing. Even the music stopped. Toby laughed at first. Because surely his father was joking. Right. But Chief kept smiling. And that was when my word ended. The way Toby looked at me afterward. God. I have never seen heartbreak physically before that moment. It was like watching someone's soul collapse in real time. He kept asking, "Is it true?" Again and again. But I couldn't answer. Because silence sometimes confesses louder than words. The wedding was cancelled. Toby stopped speaking to his father completely. Chief tried contacting me for months. I blocked everyone. Moved cities. Changed numbers. Changed everything. But shame travels faster than humans. People found out eventually. People always do. And now whenever I see young girls online saying, "I can never date a broke man," I just laugh sadly. Because sometimes the money you think is saving your life is only preparing the perfect disaster. Looks directly into camera. And the worst part. After everything. After the shame. The scandal. The heartbreak. Sometimes I still miss him. And honestly, I don't even know which one anymore. The father. Or the son.